I'd just like to welcome everybody to the Murray City Municipal Council this Tuesday, February 18th. First off, I would like to, excuse council members Hales and Brass. We wish them well in their recoveries and let them know that we miss them and hope they'll return soon. Okay, also, if you would turn off your cell phones. And I'd just like to let you know that this council meeting will be video recorded and streamed and can be accessed at murraycitylive.com. Now that we're done with that, let's start with the opening ceremonies, and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance with Danny Astle conducting.
You'll all stand. Recite the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. All right, the next is approval of minutes. And for the council, do you have any corrections, questions, or comments for the minutes for February 2nd, 2016?
I would move approval of the minutes of February 2nd, 2016 as written.
Great. All in favor?
Yeah, you did second.
Oh,
I'll second that.
okay, it's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Now, for the next one, 5.3 is special recognition. That special recognition is Murray City Council Employee of the Month, Corey Wells, Water and Field Supervisor, and we'll have Council Chair Blair Camp and Doug Hill do the presentation.
Thank you. Corey, would you come up? This is something that Council Member Hales likes to do. Why don't you come right over here? And let me be the first to congratulate you. Thank you. Officially on this honor. Being what I started to say a minute ago is Council Member Hales really likes to do these presentations, and we love to have him do it. But him not being able to be here tonight gives me the privilege of doing that. And I've had a career as a firefighter and a fire chief, part of it here in Murray, and so I have a real affinity for the water guys, okay? We have a fantastic water system here in Murray, and we really appreciate the work that's gone into the planning and the maintenance of our water system. And Doug, are you going to? I'll invite you to come up. I didn't know if you or Danny was going to say plenty of good things, but I'm going to first of all, Corey, present you with this gift card for $50. I'm sure your wife will find a good place to spend it. Yes, sure. And I'm buying dinner. And of course, your name will go up on the plaque here on the wall, and then we want to present you with this certificate from the council. And appreciate that. Doug, we'd love to have you give some further words about Corey. Thanks.
Well, like Councilman Camp, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to say some nice things about Corey, and want to give credit to Danny Astle, the water superintendent, who is Corey's immediate supervisor, who has helped me put all of this information together for you, Corey. And first of all, I know that Corey hates being up here. He's the kind of employee that just would as soon get the work done and not receive any recognition for it. And I think that speaks volumes for the kind of person he is. Corey has worked for the city for 29 years, and I don't think it's fair. Most of these guys come up here and have worked for the city longer than I have, and they look younger than I am. But the last 17 years, Corey has worked as a field supervisor, which means in the city that he is in charge not only of employees, but he's in charge of several crews. And so he's responsible for the operations of the water division. Now, what does the operations mean? Since October 1st, we have had 23 water breaks. Corey was reminding me earlier that we had 10 water breaks in the month of January alone, which is really unusual. Our water system is actually in good shape, but it was very cold, as I'm sure we all can remember. And 3 of those breaks came on New Year's Day. So while we were all home watching football games, Corey and his crews were out, down, and this is why I appreciate these employees so much. They were down in a hole in the ground with water, and the temperature was probably about 15 degrees or something like that. And they're down there trying to get these water breaks taken care of, while the rest of us are home and warm, sitting around the fire and the TV and watching football. Many of these breaks that occur on our system are not only difficult to repair, but they're dangerous as well. As you can imagine, water breaks seem to almost always happen at the most inconvenient times and places, including the middle of the night, during extremely cold temperatures, on holidays and weekends, and in heavily traveled streets. Corey is a key player when it comes to making sure that all of these breaks are taken care of. He's also instrumental in coordinating our crews on snow removal. And in Murray, we have the great advantage of, because we have our own water department and sewer department and stormwater department, we can all work together with our street department during the winter time to plow the streets. And Corey is key in scheduling and making sure all of those employees are out doing their work. So he takes great pride in his work, and it's my pleasure to introduce him now to you. And Corey, you can take a few minutes, say whatever you would like, and certainly introduce your family. He's got a wonderful family, and we're grateful that Corey is able to be the employee of the month.
Well, just thank the wife for putting up with all the phone calls in the middle of the night, because for 28 years, that's what she's been doing. A lot of nudging me to get that phone, so appreciate that, and just appreciate the family wanting to come here, and my parents who have lived here in Murray for, I think, about 48 years now, so long time. And then just thank Doug and Danny for recognizing, what I do, and appreciate their support, because without them and even my guys that I have, we can't really do what we do. So thanks to those guys, and appreciate it. So take my family to dinner.
Thanks, Corey, for all you do. We really appreciate you here. Also, you don't have to stay for the rest of this if you don't want to. It's your choice, so. Oh, I'm so glad you came. Oh, good job. Okay, we'll continue on. We're at number 6, and that's citizen comments. So this isn't the public hearing. We are going to have a public hearing in a few minutes, but this is a time when citizens get to address the council. So are there any citizen comments? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go to the number 7, which is the consent agenda. We have none. Number 8 is the public hearing. So let's see, the staff and sponsor presentations and public comment prior to the council action in the following matter is consider an ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2015 to 2016 And we have Justin Zollinger presenting.
Always appreciate coming before council. I'm a little disappointed though because it's already 10 minutes into the meeting and I was hoping to beat last council meeting's record of 8 minutes and 14 seconds, 11 seconds. So I guess I can go as long as I want now. No, just kidding.
Now.
All right. Appreciate coming before council tonight. We have on our budget opening tonight, we have a few items. I'll just start with our first item. We receive annually, it's usually in January, end of December, we receive beer tax money. It's based off an allocation. We received our allocation this year of $77,754. This is restricted money that we receive each year for alcohol enforcement, whether it be for cameras that are to help document our activities as we're out enforcing alcohol or having alcohol shifts. So that's the $77,000. McQuarrie Milestone 1. Utopia is in the process of severing that relationship, that contract. And now, with that being the end of that, at least at this point, they haven't asked yet, but this is something that as we got to this a few years ago, we thought, you know what, we want to be part of this so that we can see if this is something that would be a solution for us. We found out it wasn't through the process and through the information that was provided. But we did make a commitment as a city to say, we'll help pay for our portion of this. And that's what this amount is, the $60,000. We're using that, and we're having that to be paid from our general fund reserves. So that's what that item is. Our perpetual care fund, we'd like to transfer $58,000 from our perpetual care fund to our capital projects fund. This is to help pay for our cemetery irrigation project and road removal project. We combined those this year to finish up those projects. Those were initially going to be two separate projects. One was going to be about $150,000, one was going to be $700,000. And our department head, Mr. Hill, said we should be able to get this done for just the $700,000. Well, after everything came in and all the bills came in, it came in more, so $58,000 more. So since we're doing the sale of the cemetery lots, the additional lots we found through our other projects, we're going to use some of that money to help pay for that overage of the road removal and the irrigation project. So that's what that is, the $58,000. And fortunately, we found those plots to help pay for this anyway. So I thought that was a nice way of handling that. Last, we received a dividend or experience dividend payment from PHP. And we thought it would be nice to have this, because this is where our reserves they have with PHP, we were above the required level that we needed to have. And so they refunded it back to the city. That's partly because our employees were careful with their health insurance, kept our reserves in a better shape with PHP. And so we thought it'd be nice to be able to return this back to our employees and further encourage them, please be careful with our health insurance because this helps keep our costs low. That's one of our biggest costs in the city is health insurance. So, and the different funds are as follows. So the general fund was $68,586. The library fund was $2,711. Water fund was $4,338. The wastewater fund was $2,169. The power fund, $11,657. The Parkway Golf Fund, $1,898. Solid Waste Fund, $272. Stormwater Fund, $2,169. Our Fleet Fund or Central Garage, $814. The Retained Risk Fund, $543. So that was what was on our budget opening for tonight. Are there any questions I could address or questions that you might have?
Okay. If none, this is a public hearing, so now is the time that we will open it for public comment. Are there any? Okay. Then I'll close the public hearing and open it for council comments or questions.
I'd like to make a comment on the item number 2 on the McQuarrie. I just wanted to comment for the public record that this item was something that we really didn't have much of a choice as a council. We were, this was a decision that was made by the Utopia management to go into this this relationship with Macquarie. We did have a chance to decide whether or not we would go on to Milestone 2, which we voted down. So we, while we're not, well, I'm not happy about paying this. I recognize, and I think the other members of the council do, although I won't speak for them, that this is an obligation that we do need to pay, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Thank you, Councilmember Hales. I would just like to add that
Camp, actually.
I mean Camp. I'm sorry. I was thinking. Oh goodness. Anyway, I was. I'm in agreement with your comments, and thank you. That was a commitment that we made, and we always follow through on our commitments, as difficult as they may be sometimes. Any other comments? Okay, then I will entertain an action in the form of.
I make a motion that we adopt the ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2015 to 2016 budget.
And I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Is there discussion on the motion? All right. Jennifer, would you call the roll?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now we're to number 9, unfinished business. We have none scheduled. New business, none scheduled. Now we're to the mayor. It's time for your report.
Just one thing. I just wanted to thank George Washington and Abraham Lincoln for having their birthdays on February the 12th, which allows us to celebrate President's Day in February, and appreciated the day off. So other than that, I have no report.
All right. Does the council have any questions for the mayor? All right. Hearing none, we're adjourned.